Hello everyone. How are you? Hope all is well with you and your families. Just remember, family unity is everything. It is very important to the development of our society because whatever is molded at home is what will be contributed to the kind of society we will have. Take time out with your young ones. If it's even once per month, make it a thing that is a family time moment. Let them feel comfortable to express their feeling on what is going on, whether at school, at play, with their friends, at home, even with other family members, or even with you for that matter. As parents, sometimes we don't always get it right, but sometimes by having conversation with them and understanding their feelings, we can express our viewpoint and understand their own viewpoint. Maybe it could be something that you did that they don't quite understand, and just maybe whatever you did left them unhappy or confused. Change what can change. Reason out what can be reasoned out and explain what can be explained. Just bear in mind that there are some family members amongst us that their mind may work overtime more than all of us because everybody is different, and only through expressing what's happening one can truly understand and help each other and could make such a difference in future outcomes. Always leave the doors of communication open, not condemnation. Because if you use condemnation as a way of getting across how you are expressing yourself, you know what you are doing there? You are closing off the door for how they will express themselves to you and how much information you will get about what is going on. Sometimes critical information that you could have done something to change. Just bear in mind, we have to, in our own way, try to mold proper human beings to put out in the society, and it starts always in the homes. Now, as we are here trying to come to grips with the facts that Danielle Anglin was taken away by a taxi driver in Helsha, Portmore, St. Catherine, and taken to Clarendon, Salt River to be exact, where she was assaulted and her life was taken away. As a woman and a mother, it rubs me in all the wrong ways you possibly can think of, because right then and there, the reality of the fact that in Jamaica, women and children are definitely not safe, as we are the most vulnerable. And it just shows now we have to pull out all the stops to ensure that we secure ourselves as much as possible and our children. Well, based on information revealed at a press conference by Fitz Bailey and his investigation team, a taximan was arrested and has confessed to doing the crime. Based on investigation, the use of the Jamaican eye was very integral in helping with the trace pattern of the route the taxi took early that morning, so it was made easier to identify, and coupled with the fact that it was an in-drive taxi operator, the police was much more able to track the driver. So what they would do now is coincide it now with the Jamaica eye and based on the in-drive tracker system. So you know that technology played a big part in catching this culprit. And of course, you know, we have to big up the police them because they put in the work to find this taxi driver. Oh, can you believe it? Turned out to be a habitual sex offender that was arrested in 2015 and was also arrested in Antigua, imprisoned, then deported to Jamaica. So this has been a regular thing for him. It's just that he just got caught now. Based on the evidence, there's no way he could have gotten out of it. When interrogated, he has admitted to being involved in the demise of the teacher. Therefore, it was easier for them to find the body. You know what is a very scary thought? How much more women or young girls or children he has done this to in our island. Bear in mind, you know, that there are many women and young girls and children that have gone missing, and there are some that don't have an immediate community where if and when they go missing, someone will pick up immediately and sound the alarm that they are missing. Because you don't know, family life in Jamaica is not one of the best. You understand? So you have some people out there that really don't have a community of close-knit friends and families to say if something go wrong with them, somebody can pick up and say, wait, my girl's supposed to come on 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 7. Oh, she not reach yet. Check and see this or check and see that. Those ones are the most vulnerable because guess what happened? Nobody is really searching for them. The most you'll know is that it's long time you not see such person. And you know this man has been on the prowl. So it's really highly unlikely to believe he's not involved in many more crimes like this that are not solved. The next thing, these taxi services need to be regulated more and more research or investigations done on their drivers before they accept them on their platforms. Because people with criminal records should not be doing jobs where they are one-on-one with people privately. Because just remember, a taxi service that you call for them to carry you to and from is a private situation. So it's not like you're going publicly amongst people like when I take the bus. So people who you are going to interact with on that level, they need to be properly vetted before they are placed in these positions. This kind of people definitely should not be involved in no form of taxiing service where they will be in control of the most vulnerable in the society. There also needs to have a public sex offenders registry. The one that is in place now, it is said to be private. Now, how can a private sex offender registry help the society? It can't. Because if I'm going to employ somebody, or you are going to employ somebody, you can quickly run a trace and check if they are on a sex offenders list. Only a police is able to go check if they need to. That don't make no sense. Sometimes even we have a lot of gated communities. And even when they're trying to assess people who live amongst them, they can't readily put up your name and a red flag come up that you are on a sex offenders registry in a community where young people, older folks and young children will be running up and down. You can't dangle meat in front of dog because these people would have come in, like for example the dogs, and the young people and children who are vulnerable would be the meat. You can't have these people in certain areas and given certain jobs either. And even after identifying them on a registry, certain protocols need to be followed where there's random checks on them, where they live, what they are doing, as sex offenders is one of those crimes that's really deep. It shows the mental state of the perpetrator. It is a mental problem, and as with all mental health issues, if you are not on medication to stay in control of it, the possibility of it reoccurring, it's great. It's a sickness. But then again, I don't think Jamaicans have come to grip with the fact and the reality of taking mental health seriously, or even able to identify it readily. I am, however, fortunate to have worked in that field, so I have a good inkling on people who might be a bit off, because if truth be told, there are many people we are interacting with on a daily basis, dressed nice in clean clothes, that has mental health issues. We may pick up red flags in things they may say or do, but we dismiss it quickly as not important. I just let them stay. But for them, when in favorable conditions, the real them come forward. It comes alive. So we really need to pay attention more to the people around us and err on the side of caution. And everything matters. Another thing I notice is that would they have solved this crime so quickly if it was a regular taxi driver, a regular red plate? I doubt that. So even though I notice that the JCF is hitting out on the in drive, these share drive services, saying that they are not properly regulated, it was really through that kind of platform why they were able to nab this driver so quickly. And in so doing, I would wish they would try to regulate them better and put criteria in place for them when they are vetting their drivers, run police records, run background checks, like what should be done with all taxi drivers. But red plate ones have been doing things like this for years, and they're not so easily caught. So I would really give a bit of thumbs up to the fact that it was one of these share drive platforms, because there was some thing to track, some evidence to help in solving the case. Because dealing with regular red plate taxis, you wouldn't readily get a lead already unless somebody saw something and camera pick up something, and just maybe nothing would still have nothing up until now. Just remember, the rideshare platform gives more clues, and they have tracking for the vehicles. When someone uses the service, the driver's information is readily available and logistic points can be identified, so people would look at them a bit more safer than the regular taxi. Just little things need to be adjusted to make them able to perform much more adequately. However, this taxi driver was a straight pervert with a criminal record that just could not control himself. Because if you think about it, despite knowing that there's a chance they could trace him, because he must have known the intricacies of being on this platform, he still took the chance and did something like that. Goes to show the state of mind of this criminal that should have never been allowed to be a taxi driver, because what happened is that he acts on his sick urges. Remember, this suspect has confessed to his involvement in the abduction and taking the life of this primary school teacher and resident of Hellshire, Portmore, St. Catherine, Miss Danielle Anglin, and her body was found in Salt River, Clarendon. That's why I am always suspicious of when I hear stories that try to distract from the obvious fact that it was obviously a perverted taxi driver that did this crime. It was straight obvious that it had to do with the taxi driver. And for me, based on what is going on in Jamaica and experiences that I've said in previous upload with taxi drivers in Portmore area and so on, and things reported, things not reported, I did believe it was a strong possibility, more than not, that it had to do with the taxi driver. And as such, I do hope he get the death sentence. I wouldn't mind if they could bring back hanging to the friends and the family of Miss Anglin's. Do all you can to keep her memories alive. Gone, but she will not be forgotten. I know there'll be many changes because of her death to taxi system, and I hope it will make a difference. Stay strong. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.